You're on.
We good? Okay, I'll call this meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any amendments to the agenda from any of the selectmen?
Did we get a copy of the agenda?
Just got an email.
Sorry, I emailed them today, so
I didn't.
you can check your email, please.
Well, yeah.
Number two.
Thank you.
You already did number two.
Yes, we did
Which
number
one
2.
was it?
Yes, thank you.
Anybody else?
Okay, no other amendments. Okay, public comment. I think is Cedar Pond Road is when we plan on having the gentleman from Allstate talk.
Yes.
Is that okay? So any other?
Also got the comment from.
But I figured we'd do it all under one.
Okay. All right.
All under the heading of Cedar Pond?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So no public comment tonight? Okay, consent agenda? Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on that? All in favor? All right, unanimous, good. Action items, Cedar Pond Road. So I think we have a couple of topics under that broader heading, and we have a guest with us tonight, if you want to come up to the table, and he's gonna, we've received some comments from the public about the work on Cedar Pond Road and the material used, mainly the, cold mix versus, I don't know, I'm not a road guy, but regular asphalt or whatever, so I guess you're here tonight to educate us a little bit about that product and its and why it was appropriate for that job.
Okay. All right, so cold mix. It's been around a long time. And the ingredients that are in cold mix are the exact same ingredients that's in hot mix. You have sand, rock, liquid asphalt, and sometimes, you get a little dust in there too with everything. The big difference in the production of it is one's made cold, the other one's made hot. So where are they appropriate? So cold mix, when you have a road that's very fatigued, rutted, and cracked, cold mix is your better product there because it's more flexible. Okay, it's I don't want to get too technical with you, but the air voids in cold mix are less than they are with hot mix. Okay, so if you put hot mix on a road that's fatigued, it's got moderate cracking, moderate rutting. It doesn't have to be, terrible road. If you put hot mix on it, because it cools and it's rigid, you'll get reflective cracking up there much quicker than you would with a cold mix, because cold mix is a lot less rigid. It's more flexible, so it's more resistant to that cracking. So when you have a road such as Cedar Pond or Stackpole, cold mix is a better option in lieu of any kind of reclaiming, okay? And it's been around a long time.
So a couple of the complaints that I received, one was that someone took a picture and showed that we were filling ruts almost 7 inches deep in some areas, and then another is even last week I think the trash truck is still leaving ruts. Is that going to stop? Is that going to come out of it? What can we expect for a final product?
Over time, the cold mix will stiffen up. When it's fresh, it's going to remain soft, and you've probably seen it get marred with tires and that sort of thing. So over time, when the light ends come out of that asphalt, she will stiffen up. But you do have to seal it. And you got a year to 2 years to seal a cold mix product. And I believe we're chip sealing that road this year.
24th.
The 24th, yeah. So you're going to put a chip seal on that, and that's going to give you a riding surface on top of that cold mix. So it will go away.
Did we fill ruts that were 7 inches deep in spots? I mean, was that just one spot? And is it going to be okay?
There was one spot in which I took Jerry and Sean down to look at the day before they got there. I said, it kind of fell apart almost a little bit when we were ditching because there was no ditch there. So I put a ditch there. There never was a ditch there before, so now it's drained.
there was a bit of a rut there, but, you know, when I evaluate a road, I have to look at the road as a whole. I gotta say, okay, this road is, if I went in and said, this 10 feet, we're gonna do this, and this 100 feet, I have to say, this is a shim and overlay candidate, it's a cold mix candidate, it's a hot mix candidate, or it's a reclaim. I can't micromanage. So, yeah, there was a spot, and we looked at that and said, you know, we've got ruts that we have filled in that are double that. I mean, they were like ripping the oil pans off cars that we filled in 3 years ago that are still performing perfectly upon Davis Road
Yeah.
and all through Pownell. And so based on what we've seen, we've got a lot deeper than that. That little 50-foot piece or whatever, you know, if worse comes to worse, if we have to, we could always cut it out and repair it later, or we do it now. It's the difference is like $200, but for the sake of doing business, we have to keep these guys moving. So that was
And then price-wise, like generally, how does cold mix compare to hot mix? Because that was
$10 a ton.
It's,
less.
it's usually less because you don't have that heating cost of hot mix. When you fire up that drum and you start heating up the sand and the aggregates and the hot mix, that's an added cost. Cold mix is made out of a pug mill, so whatever the ambient temperature is what it's made with. So you save on that end of it.
Is there a certain range of ambient temperature that you need to make it?
We do it in the summertime, so you can do it pretty much anytime. So one thing that I want to try to make you all understand is you have the product, and both products are very good products. I mean, Allstate sells hot mix. We have 2 plants. We make it all day long. We sell it all day long. Okay? So it's not so much, the product is important, but what's probably more important is what you put that product on. So on a road like Cedar Pond, you know, if you had put hot mix on that, and someone told me that you were gonna do that, I would try to encourage you not to do that, because when you compact that hot mix, it's gonna get rigid, and you're gonna get those cracks coming up in no time. And I think what you're gonna find on Cedar Pond with that cold mix is that cracking is gonna be delayed. And when you can delay that cracking, you delay the water getting back into that road. And that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to seal that road for you. And another thing to consider when you're making these decisions about what you're doing out there on the road is traffic volume. If you have less than 500 vehicles a day, and you got a product that you can put down for X amount of tons, X amount of money per ton, and then you've got another product that's gonna be much, much more, what decision do you make? I mean, you're serving 500 or less cars a day. Not that the people that live on that road's any less important, but when you're talking about budgets and stretching the dollar, you know, you take a road that's got 3,000, 3,500 vehicles, Allstate's one have recommended a cold mix on that.
Okay, so because part of me, I've been sitting here thinking until you said that, it's like, well, why would you ever use hot mix? It sounds like cold mix is
Traffic.
like wonder material, right? So that makes a lot of sense. So do you have, when you first put the cold mix down, does there need to be any, like Rob mentioned the trash truck, does there need to be any vehicle weight restrictions for a period of time or
No.
anything like that?
No, when you put cold mix down, typically you can't put it down any less than 1.5 inches, because it's cold, it'll drag behind the screed. Okay, and then it'll stop pulling if you go less than 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, you can pretty much put it down just like any normal pavement. So, you know.
So,
Yeah, I have just 2 questions. One, just out of curiosity, how come most people don't, you can answer these both sometimes, and I'll shut up. How come most people don't use that in their driveway if it's cheaper?
Because of the way you turn your tires, it's gonna mar it all up. It's gonna.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
It's
Yeah.
not throughway.
And then my question, and this might not be to you, it might be to Calvin. The transition from Country Lane to Cedar Pond Road is, I don't know, 3 inches? I would think once that plow truck hits that thing, you're gonna have a serious problem on your
We
hands.
went down and looked at that, Jerry. We're still waiting
Yeah.
to see if, I thought maybe I could get a load with the wheeler and just take down and see if I could put an apron in there.
It just looks like it needs to be shimmed down.
Yeah, you need, that's called an apron. It just needs to have sort of that apron, and you're probably right. Whenever you get into big lifts like that,
Yeah.
whether it's driveways or joining streets, they need to be addressed. Typically, on a road that has gravel driveways,
Right.
and a lot of the work we do, we work it out with the town to go in there and put some gravel down to kind of match it in.
I happened to be the one that was behind the trash truck.
Mhm.
And I think what happened was, because he didn't leave those marks, he left them, right there, but I think what happened is just, like pause of traction, he's trying to get up over this lip, and his tires are just engaged on
Yeah.
that cold mix, and it just tore it up to.
If I didn't know what I knew, and I thought that was hot mix, I'd have the same concerns.
Yeah.
So it's not,
Okay.
I mean, cold mix is a much more flexible product. So when you put it on a road like that, you're just gonna get a better performance out of the cold mix than you would a hot mix, at a lower cost to boot.
Could you just tell us what the gyp seal, once you gyp seal that, what happens after that, once it's gyp sealed?
Well, so have you had chip seals done in this town before?
Yeah.
So you know all about the stone that's gonna be on there, and when we apply, so what happens is, there's an emulsion truck, a spray truck that'll spray right on top of that cold mix.
Right.
And then behind that is a chip spreader, and it'll drop really hard, 3/8" stone. And that'll set into that emulsion, and it takes it's a rapid set, so it'll cure, you can drive right on it almost afterwards. In about 2 or 3 days, we're gonna have you sweep it. And once you sweep it, it's gonna be a little coarse, it's gonna be a little loud, but after one plow season, your regular person that doesn't know much about roads is gonna think that's asphalt, a regular paved road.
Because it'll make it hard and stiffen up.
Yeah, it's hard, that rock is really hard.
It's almost like a crust on it.
It seals the road. You know what like ice and water shield looks like?
Yep.
That emulsion almost acts like that. It really holds the road together and seals it really nice.
So moving your tires, like if it was in my
No.
driveway, wouldn't be an issue?
Well, it's soft for the first 48 hours. Not that soft, but if somebody gets out there and wants to burn tires on it, they're gonna mount it up.
Oh, I get that,
The
I
end
get
of
that. You're gonna do that
step.
with any road, I get that,
Yeah. Right.
especially if it's warm outside. I get
Right,
that.
right.
Once
So-
it's set in there pretty hard,
It's set in,
and they
it's-
try to do
No, I
that,
was
it's hard on the
looking at
tires.
these-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at your gyp seal is almost like, for lack of better words, like the epoxy. It's a two-parts process, and you put the epoxy to it.
It's not a bad analogy.
Okay. So that's why I was curious, if I put the epoxy and I harden it up and it's stiff, I still don't get why I wouldn't be able to use it in my driveway.
Well, you gotta be careful in driveways and parking lots with chip seals, just because of the turning of the ties and stuff. You will, once that rock gets set in there, it's made to kind of like drive over and not like turn, because you will pop stones
Okay.
eventually with tires, especially if you got some good meaty tread.
Yep.
In a heavy truck or something, it's gonna pop those stones, and you really wanna keep those stones oriented right there, so it's just best to drive on it. But I'll tell you, the town of Bremen, we chip sealed their parking lot, and we advised against it, but they're so happy with the results of the chip seals, they said, do our parking lot.
Probably if you backed in and drove out for those 3 or 4 days to pack that in without turning around, it might not do what he was saying.
Yeah, it was just more, this was
Yeah.
more for my own curiosity. I was, I gotta
And
look at your driveway. You never know. I was looking to do something.
Yeah.
And two, I just want to be clear, hot mix is a really good product.
Yeah.
It's the gold standard, really. So depending on what you're putting then, if you've got a nice base, say you're rebuilding a road, and you've got a nice base, you built it up, you got your inch minus down, you've got it compacted, you're really rebuilding it, hot mix is the choice. You put down 2.5, and then you put 1.25 inches of surface on that of hot mix. Now you've got your 3.5, 4 inches of structure there. Now you're into the pavement preservation mode. And that's what chip seals does for you. When that road gets oxidized, and what I mean by oxidized is it turns gray, and it's just starting to crack, you put a chip seal on that. A chip seal, a mile long, 20 foot wide, is gonna cost about 28 grand. Okay? So it's really about pavement preservation. It just happened to be that Cedar Pond was beyond that. So what do? You've only got a few choices. And the most economical choice for the amount of volume on that road, we thought, was cold mix and a chip seal.
Jerry, how many years of experience do you have in roads and pavements
Oh,
working with
yeah.
towns?
Yeah, a little bit about me. So before I went to work for Allstates, I worked for the DOT for 17 years, and my role there was the program manager for the Maine Local Road Center. So what I did was I managed the training programs for the municipalities who targeted mostly public works. And probably my claim to fame there is I rebuilt a road surface management system software package that helps town maintain their roads. So I've got, I used to teach paving classes and all kinds of different classes.
So you've got 18 years of
Yeah,
experience.
right.
And
I've got a fair amount.
It's more than us.
more than me.
And I really do understand why folks saw that. If they were thinking it was hot mix, I don't blame them for asking the questions that they asked.
Well, we need to
Anybody
do a
would.
better job of letting people know what's happening.
And I think we, as a company, might be able to help you with that too. I mean, because we know the product really well and,
Yeah. Well, that's part of time. Hopefully people are watching tonight and now they have an understanding and then they tell their neighbors and word spreads,
And, yeah, and I think if you ever get into doing some cost comparisons to what we did on Cedar Pond versus doing hot mix or reclaiming it or something like that, I think you'll be surprised at the difference, because we saved you some good money.
I think on my road.
I shouldn't say save, because towns don't
Still
save.
spend it.
Yeah, we still spend it, but.
Don't get me going, man.
I looked at Rich, oh boy, here we go.
I think on my road, I don't think we did the coal mix, because it wasn't. It wasn't,
These are the same.
right.
Those were hot
Yes, because it was, like you said, it was different.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got, I mean, it really depends, again,
Right.
what you're putting that, whatever you're using for a product, what you're putting on really matters. I don't know what your road looked like, but if it was just light cracking, light rutting, you could get away with hot mix on that. Because could you put 3/4 of an inch, do you know, Calvin, was it 3/4 shim on his road?
That's big bucks.
Typically with hot mix, you don't really want to go any more than a 3/4 shim, right? Hot mix is like I
Right.
said, it's
Right.
it's a good product.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna go more than 3/4, then, you might as well shim it with 3/4 and then put another inch on top of that. But then you really have an inch and 3/4. So when you run those numbers against the coal mix and a chip seal,
Yeah.
you're gonna get a little bit better performance out of the coal mix, just because of how flexible it
Well,
remains.
that end was definitely in better shape than the other end that you're doing now, by a
Yeah.
lot, so that's the difference.
Yeah, and one other point, I don't know how many of you get, past Bangor or north, but if you ever go on the Golden Road,
Been there.
Yeah, many times.
yeah, coming out of Millinocket,
Mm-hmm.
that's coal mix, and they're running some big boys across that.
Yeah.
So that hardened up really nice.
Like by Big Eddie in that area?
Yeah, when you come into Millinocket,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
real familiar with all the little landmarks up there, but I
Yeah.
do know, I think it's the first 30 miles or something like that.
Yeah.
Everything up that part of the country is heavy,
Right, right.
what I've seen.
So I believe the finished product will look better, and I believe the performance will be good. I really do.
So, okay. Thanks, Jerry.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Anytime. If you ever have any questions, call.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind if you had a couple cards on you, could you leave some out there so I could have them?
Yeah, want me to go, I'll
Yeah,
go grab
thank
some now, absolutely.
So, still on Cedar Pond Road, different topic though, Jerry. I know, Rob, you had something you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, well, Mike Bergeron attended our meeting. Well, of course, I've lost the letter that he sent me. But he attended our meeting 2 weeks ago and with respects to putting a culvert across Cedar Pond Road. And I have since talked to him a couple of times. I've walked the property. He wrote us another letter. Calvin, have you seen the letter? The latest one I did.
The email, that's what he's
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
attached to
Yeah, I
that.
forwarded.
Okay. So essentially, they're requesting that they accept the fact that their basement is low and so forth, and but they do feel that where we ditch the roads, that flow is going to increase, which hopefully it does. Actually, that's
Well, actually,
But-
it won't. All we've done is the same amount of water is going down there. It's just that we've taken it from running down the pavement and just lowered where that's we've taken it from this elevation and moved it to this elevation, but it's the same water course, same water.
Well, tall grass and stuff, you know, that can slow down flows and
Grass will
stuff.
grow right
but-
back, so
yeah.
you'll have grass that tall by the next spring, so.
So that's one of the questions, but he essentially asked if the town would install a culvert across the road before we do the chip sealing. They've offered to pay for the cost of the culvert. I said, you know, I'll bring it up to the board. I'm not 100% sure how I feel. I mean, it's not really affecting the road, so that's something we have to look at. Is it a solution that works for everybody? Possibly. So I said I'd bring it up, see what everyone thought, and
If we put that culvert across and it moves that water somewhere else, what's gonna happen then?
All I will say is I learned my lesson up in Dixfield. We listened to this guy, went in and we paved, and he says, well, now I'm getting water here, so we went in there to appease him, we did something to his driveway, and it became a giraffe with a sore throat. Once you do something.
That's a new one.
Yeah, that is a new one.
I mean, once you touch it, where's the end? It's like, well, now that's your fault because you did this. You know, even though we were
Right.
trying to help him, we were 2 years later, every year we were there because everything we did had, you know, consequences that.
To Mark's point, didn't you mention that if we add a culvert, that it brings in DEP water flow studies or something like that?
I checked with the engineer again today, just to ask him, and he said, no, you're outside of your, you know, we can replace existing culverts in kind, no problem. But once you start, he said, you're talking a 50% volume increase. He said, and how we came up with that number, if 2 18s, you're adding an 18, I would have thought 33, but he said it's 50, so.
well, their existing's 24.
I think 24. or-
Yeah, and we were talking about adding an 18, so it's really just an overflow.
Yeah,
And
so.
I
So
think,
anyway, yeah, he just said, you know, he doesn't think it'll solve the problem, but he thinks that we still have to go, because I don't know, the permitting thing is, and as I say, I have this past experience and always, we tend to learn from your mistakes, like next time I do politics, I'll make sure I do a mailing before.
I know we had something similar with a tree last year and we managed to get through it, but it was kind of a pain, and it was, actually, the tree was on our property, so it was really nothing that they could do, but we was trying to work with them to make it happen and not take this tree that was right in the middle of the ditch that had to go. So I'm hesitant to add this in there when it's never been there, and then end up causing a bigger problem that we've got to go back and change it on the other side somewhere, or take it back out, and, you know, I'm just
well, you could plug it.
hesitant of doing that.
I mean, at the very least, I want to get to it, I want to go through the permitting process, do the,
I always take the adage of what came first, the chicken or the egg.
We don't know.
I think we do know.
The road was there first.
Yes.
The
Well,
road
in
was
this
there.
case, yes.
The road was there first, so the builder somewhat had an obligation to know what the watershed for that particular property. I don't know if your permit's included, but you're supposed to show your water for where your property water's gonna go, and storm management, water and so forth on your permits. You know, so I think the burden was placed on whoever built that house to make sure that they could build the house to what was there for the property, but he's a wonderful man.
well, I'd love to help him, I'd love to.
Ditto, but I just don't, I honestly believe, and this is my own personal thing, simply because I built right across the street from him, I don't think you'll solve his water in his basement.
I'm not convinced either. And the thing is now, the next thing, and I just throw this out there, next year I get a call from somebody whose cows had a spring hole upstream, and now all of a sudden they can't get, even though it could be totally unrelated.
Right.
This whole, you put this culvert in, I never had a problem before that. Which could have been, his cow hole would have gone dry anyway, but it just.
So, is there anything more, can we put check dams in the ditch to, the flow, I've looked at the flow, and his culverts are the same size as the ones crossing the road. And yes, the ones on the road are a little bit longer, but it's not a reduction in flow of, not very much anyway, with open channel, smooth bore pipe. So, the flooding really looks like it occurs when it comes from down the hill and it meets it where the road culvert comes. So you've got the stream that flows across their property through their neighbor's driveway, and then it crosses the road. And then you've got more ditching that comes from further up the road, which we've ditched, and it looks great. Can we put some check dams in there or something that would slow it? That might help in that case. I mean, if it pours, it's gonna flow over the check dams anyway, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's some small thing like that we can at least try to slow that flow down so that the road culverts can handle what's coming. It's not a
Calvin, what-
guarantee, but
Yeah, what would it cost him as a homeowner to put those culverts in for say, just a ballpark? Yeah, nothing.
If he wants to apply to DEP and Army Corps and get his permits and have a contractor do that, it would be up to you to say, it'll either allow him or not allow him to do that.
Right.
If he wanted to do that, that would be an option.
No, I understand, but what type of money are we
he
talking
won't,
to do
he
something?
wouldn't get the permit.
He's probably looking at $8,000, $5,000
So 5 to 8 grand or
with
so?
permitting and everything, I would think.
Is that with the culvert and the work going in the road? And
And the riprap and,
Okay.
that's probably high, but yeah, probably $5,000.
That was my estimate. I mean, just looking at it, and I don't think he would actually be able to get the permit because he's not the property owner. We would have to do it on his behalf, and he would have to cover all the costs, essentially,
And, just,
if we were gonna.
I don't know,
do it
does that,
way.
would that permitting process, would that involve looking at, okay, if we put this in, where's this water gonna go and what are the implications of that?
Right. Is he liable or are we liable?
Yeah, does it even look at answering those questions? Because I know even if we got that far, I'm not comfortable saying go forward unless we have some solid answers to, well, what are the implications of sending that water somewhere else?
I
Like,
don't know what's
upstream
down-
or
I haven't looked
downstream?
at what's downstream. I'm assuming it goes around the back of your house and then down to.
Well, actually,
the road.
that lot, my house actually stops right around where his is, but I do own that lot also behind there. So that your culverts feed into a creek that actually winds all through the back. It used to be Randy Kraft's property, but I think it's recently been sold, so I don't know who owns it now. But I don't know what impact you'll have by increasing more water in there. I honestly couldn't tell you.
Maybe
that.
nothing, I don't know the answer.
Maybe nothing, yeah.
Well,
you're
it all
right.
flows
It might
there
all flow right to
eventually.
the river, to be honest with you.
Now, already, and what
Yeah.
we're talking about is not a culvert, not changing the stream crossing of the road. We're talking about adding a culvert on the uphill side to intercept what's coming down the road so it doesn't go into the stream.
Wait, then I'm confused. You're not talking about digging up the road and adding another culvert?
Yes, but just to intercept what comes down. Yeah, you got a
Oh, yeah.
marker?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me go get him.
Wish I had a tray on it.
And-
Oh, yeah.
You're good. Yes, thank you, sorry. Yeah,
Yes,
just a difference-
thank you very much. Yes, that was a big help.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Nice color shirt, I like it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jerry.
I'll get them. I have lots of them.
Well, we don't have them.
Is he gonna get me on the camera too when I'm doing this?
When you stretch it.
Get my good stuff.
There you go.
The end concern I have is who would be responsible even if he got all the permits and he paid for it, down the road if something happens, is he responsible or we are? And that's what I want.
Be quick and crude.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I think if we allow a citizen to make a change
Rob, just
to a
kinda
town
show me
way,
where his
it's
house
still a
is in
town way.
reference to
Right,
And
listen.
we're ultimately
Right,
on the
that's,
hook.
that's my,
Driveway?
exactly, that's my
Yeah,
problem.
no, his driveway is gonna be right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we're color coded.
Yes,
Okay, so this is Rich,
And
Okay.
that's country lane right there.
Country Lane,
Okay.
and then this is Bergeron, somewhere in here. And this is another neighbor, which also has a culvert. So this little stream essentially flows like this, and it kind of goes like this, and then like that, okay? Right now, there's two 24-inch culverts right here at Mr. Bergeron's house. There are two 24-inch culverts right here at the neighbor's house or road. It's a dirt
I
road or
thought he said
something.
one of them had 3. Didn't he tell me?
I didn't see three anyway.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And then
I
the
looked at it.
town has two 24-inch culverts right here. Okay, and this stream flows to this culvert. And this is where it does back up, which eventually will back up all the way to his property. And his house is down here,
why does it back up?
and his basement is low, and it will back up, okay? So, what we're talking about, what he's asking there's also, this is the low point in the road. So there's a whole ditch line that comes to here and gets added to this flow. And that's really what's causing the backup.
I see.
It's not the stream itself, it's not the fact that the road culverts can't handle what's coming from here and here. These are smooth bore culverts, they should be able to handle it. It's this added flow from the ditch. So the thought is, can you intercept that with a 12 or 18 inch culvert up here? You don't do anything in the stream. The ditch line, the water from the ditch line crosses up here, and then it rejoins the stream. So it's going to the same place. I don't know if
I
it
would
would
have to have a drainage easement from whoever owns that land we're dumping water onto. No, but that's why we can't add culverts, that's why.
we're talking 10 feet though, you know, it's same,
10 feet, oh, and raised.
Why not?
and raised above the stream bed, so you're not in, and it's not, I don't even know if it is a named stream, so I haven't looked, asked, it is, so you've asked about, you know, so, could you get the permit? I'm sure you could. Is there a cost to it? You know, just so everyone explains, like I said, it may not, no guarantees it's gonna work.
So you're gonna get the same amount of water going across the road, it's just,
Exactly.
it could be, make it there
So
quicker.
Rob, at his house, his daylight's on his thing, and he has somewhat of a, what kind of dam would you call it? It's not
A berm.
a berm, he has a berm. So is the water actually cresting over that berm, getting into his house, and that's what's causing the issue?
I think that's the case. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a classic, in my opinion, and I'm
2
not,
foot high
it's
berm
a
and-
classic example of somebody put a walkout in an area that shouldn't have had a walkout.
Oh,
Everybody's.
And you can tell, because stream level is groundwater.
Right.
And so you can tell his house is just
right
barely
there,
above it,
yeah.
and it's August.
He's in the mix when the snow comes like last year, and then when we get a nice wet April or something, and all that snow's still on the ground, and it starts pouring, and that massive rain and water rises, and the water table rises. I don't know how you would ever.
I did one up on the New Gloucester Road 22 years ago, and that would have been in the same thing. If we would have gone deeper, what we ended up doing is just basically scratching this corner here, maybe taking off 6 or 8 inches, and then dug here. But we had to fill in around it. That's what he should have done there. Should have
What if
kept it
he-
apart, filled in around it.
What if he added another, some type
Shouldn't
of
have
ditch
a
here
daylight
that
mix.
branched off of this, that got more water down into this ditch?
I think it's just gonna still
for example-
ultimately, because this flows, that ditch line still flows down.
But this
that
is
way.
all
That's
nice
what-
and grass, and this is kind of a ditch line that he has right in the middle of his house. What if he created an extension of this ditch line down to this?
I don't know where that goes.
Water's gonna go the same place, because that
Yeah,
ditch goes
because
down.
the
feeds up
water
to
will
the-
still flow down to the.
I was just saying, so it could alleviate the pressure here and get this out of here quicker. That's all I was thinking.
Yeah, I
No?
don't think it will
Okay.
go that
I'm not an
direction.
engineer,
I think
so
it's
I'll
higher
defer to you
elevation.
I'd have to look at it for it, but
Like I said, I think at the minimum, we could probably throw some check dams here to flow this,
Yep.
to slow this flow down.
Yep.
There is probably a little bit of backhoe work we could do to shape the inlet of these culverts a little better,
Yep.
to try to give that an open mouth, you
Calvin,
know,
do you have to still ditch from Country Lane up Cedar Pond?
Where-
get
where-
that mouth nice and open on the culvert so that the water's smooth, you get laminar flow going into the culvert, it'll take a little bit more water, throw some check dams in there. I mean, that's something we can do at little cost, I don't,
We're,
just throwing that out there.
So you're not gonna ditch from Country Lane down on that road,
no,
on that side?
no, it's already that,
It's what?
it's already that much deeper than the road. So, what I do is I go down through and look at areas that aren't draining, and I look at the pavement, and if the pavement is breaking all up, then I know we don't have a drainage.
All I was telling you is, and it's a discussion for another day, we can have it off, but that ditching from Country Lane down, only because once that fills up, only from I can see it from my, that water actually crests that road, so I don't know how you come up with that ditching. Because there's water in the road during the heavy, I mean, I drive it every single day.
it runs up onto the road.
It can, when it, see, if my house is here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no way. This is-
right, so you know where my house is.
Mhm.
Okay, so my foundation drain actually shoots here, and you'll see like a little ditch that was there before I even bought it. That ditch will fill and just come right out to this road.
We went down through and it's like this, it's much lower than the road.
Check in transit, man.
So-
maybe it's just where yours goes into that ditches. Maybe
No, because my
up wide
house is
enough.
actually probably, I don't know, maybe 200 feet from that road.
You guys should check it out, I guess.
We'll look it up.
Yeah, so, all right,
I
so.
kinda like Rob's thought that might be,
Yeah, slow the waterfalls.
yeah, slow it down, it's still gonna go there, but, man, I don't hate to have to go the other route.
Well, that can be done
massive
without
merge.
Right.
permits.
I guess how does the board feel about, I mean, granted, I mean, nothing's free, so there would be some expense to having the crew go out and put check dams in and open up that mouth, or are people
Calvin, what would that cost?
okay with?
The check dams, I think the town should probably take care of that on their own. As far as adding the culverts.
No, we're not talking about that, we're talking about like the check dams and a little bit of backhoe work that Rob mentioned, like maybe widening the mouth at the entrance to the culverts. What,
Half a day, I mean, I think we could take care of that easy.
yeah, so is the board comfortable with that?
I am,
I
yeah.
think so. We just spent
Yeah, I would agree with that,
Yeah.
so.
150 grand on a road. It's not
And then,
Yeah.
and the reality is that if they want a culvert across the road, you know, we wouldn't stop them, but it's gonna be all.
Well,
their
we
expense.
might.
Right.
Well, they would have to go through the permitting process and everything themselves.
Yeah, so it would have to come before the board, and they would have to, you know, do the research and
Right.
studies and the permitting and all that, so.
Okay.
I would think it'd be easier to reconfigure his foundation.
Possibly.
Yeah, so.
You want me to respond to him with that and copy everybody, or how does that work?
What, or should Calvin respond? Like, say, you know, this is, you know,
I could respond to Rob, and you could send it back to
Okay.
where that's been the chain,
Comments.
where that's been the conduits coming that way, maybe I was
Yeah.
okay with that.
yep.
Yeah, I don't want him messing up my knee, so.
Yeah.
All right, whoops, slipped.
say that, so.
Oh, shoot. No, he's a good, very good guy. And actually, to clarify, it was his wife, Christy, that sent this request, and they both wanted to be here, they just had
Yep.
previous engagement.
They are
so.
wonderful people.
I think the consensus, like, you know, we feel for him and would love to be able to do something, but at the same time, can't really, you know, devote too much in the way of public resources towards
Yep.
it, so.
Okay.
Okay, next action discussion item, acceptance of donations for Eureka Community Center in memory of Ernest Tebbets.
Right, so they've already actually put the, thing in the obituary requesting donations for the Eureka Center, because he had a lot to do with the reconstruction of the Eureka Center. So what you guys need to do is you need to accept the gifts, and I'd like you to specify that it goes 100% to the capital fund of the Eureka Center.
Okay.
So
All
moved.
the amount, just all that.
Just all donations.
We have a so moved and we have a so seconded.
So I'm in.
All in favor?
That sounds.
Did you get that, Jill?
Did you copy that?
So the motion would be that the.
I got the
okay.
motion, but I didn't see.
Who
I was
first?
writing, so I didn't see.
Todd was the
it.
second.
It's a second.
Todd second?
All in favor? Yeah, yeah.
Who moved?
Mark moved.
I moved it.
He moved.
He was in
Thank
tough
you.
health for a
Okay.
long time.
Oh, yeah.
LRAP Assistance Program.
Yep, local roads and assistance. I usually just put it on the consent agenda, but I pulled it out this time in case you guys had any questions. Basically, every year we're required to fill out a form that certifies that we spent the local roads assistance fund money that we received the year before, which in this case was $53,664 on capital projects in town. And you guys are required to sign it, and I've filled it out. And next year, we're supposed to get $54,520.
And we just need to
All we need to
spend
do
it
is,
on roads.
we just spend it on roads, yep.
I think we got enough opportunity to do that.
There's only 4 lines, but, you know, you
It's
guys
like a
can,
Homesteader Act, the Homestead forms, sign and away you get
What do you
it.
want to put for
Free money.
a municipality email address? That's mandatory.
well, I would fill in, don't worry about
You'll
that, I
fill
just
in.
want your signature. It's like signing a blank check.
I know. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this. Just sign it.
See, now you
In there.
See, nobody used to ask me questions, this is exciting now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a pain though.
So
No,
we don't
it's
need a
okay.
motion there, it's just, we
No,
just sign it?
I just,
Okay.
yep.
Okay,
Well, I already signed,
so
so.
while that's going around, MMA elections.
They have elections every year. It's another one of those really no-brainers. There's no competing ballots, so we usually just,
What are you running for?
it's not me.
Oh,
Mary Sabins of Vassalboro, she's the town manager in Vassalboro, is running for the vice president position of MMA. And
There's only
then
one
there
spot
are,
left, you want it?
Oh, no, really?
No.
Go ahead.
there
Jim
are,
Bennett of Biddeford,
Yeah.
underneath.
Jill Doosan of Portland,
As
and
long as
Gary
all-
Fortier of Ellsworth.
Yeah.
for-
There's only vote one, vote three.
Yeah, so,
yeah,
do we
there's,
need to make a motion to
No.
vote for that, or?
well, yeah, you might as
do
well.
we actually vote?
Yeah,
So that's,
Really?
Yeah, you really gotta
Guys,
vote.
anybody want to be written in?
hell no.
no, you don't, there's no write-ins allowed.
Yeah, Rob Pontono.
Well, next year, we can nominate
People at
you.
large to
Agreed.
be voted on.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? All unanimous?
It's okay.
Oh, you want me to?
Okay.
Oh,
Sign
we
it.
all sign that?
If your address has changed since last year.
No, town's still in the same place.
Nope, we're in the same place.
I'll put the date on there too.
All right, Calvin, road commissioner's report is next.
Oh, okay.
That's three.
I don't know
I guess
if I
that's
wanna
coming back
share.
to you.
Oh, I guess,
Two, I think.
This is stapled, this is the real deal.
I need another one.
Need another one?
You got enough? Everybody
Yeah, we got an
I didn't
extra.
get one down.
I thought I printed 8. I'm gonna say I have this kind of a science.
8?
8.
6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 is some Irish have 8 plus my own. So we finished Cedar Pond, Stackpole, 3 miles. But what's interesting is that most towns are ditching a year or 2 ahead of their paving plan. I didn't have that luxury. We came in and it was, here you go, hold on, and what are you gonna do next? So we've been, to get us from up where we need to be, from less than a mile a year up to 4 miles a year, we've been right out straight, just, so we have to ditch to stay ahead of the paving crew this year. So if we encounter problems, we don't have time really to address them, or ideally, and I think moving forward, at some point, we've either got to get ahead, or we've got to take a year off in paving, or we have to come up with some way to get a year ahead, like this year. In hindsight, probably what I should have done is cold mixed more miles of road and held back on the chip seal and done that next year. Cold mix 1 year, chip seal the next year, that gives us that year to be ditching while they're chip sealing that road. That would give us that year to get ahead. So just trying to come up with a way to get us from behind out front. But when they're breathing right down your neck, we had till July 14th and we finished it on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
yeah, you did. I saw you. Yeah.
It was, I had to get ledge out of the ditch, I had to
Yeah.
rent a huge hammer, and I spent 5 hours beating that ledge with that thing. My teeth were, but we got it all done. So that's the dynamic that we deal with here that most towns don't have. I know Brunswick, they're 2 years ahead, and so I gotta figure out how to get there. We went from no plan to trying to get, we're up to fixing the roads, but it's at the expense of, it's really pushing us. We're doing bond projects and doing regular maintenance projects, and we're kind of burning the candle at both ends.
I know that, I mean, would it be something that we should consider for 1 year, subcontracting ditching work?
That's possible. That's
Just,
part of
you
it.
know, just to get a year ahead, we'd have to do, it would be a 1 year deal, but, and I don't have any idea how much it costs, I'm just throwing it out there, it may not be feasible, but.
Well, maybe that and the other scenario he said, maybe you do the coal mix or whatever it is, and then you chip seal next year or something. I know you.
We take 1 year and just do all
Yeah,
chip seals.
see how, that yeah, or that too, either way.
Yeah, so.
Or a combination.
What I don't wanna do though is, personally, is
Take a year
put
off.
more delay into the maintenance
Right.
that the roads need. And I think we're hearing loud and clear from the town that they don't want that either, so, but anyway, options we can look at.
Here's some discussion here about the chip seal, and about the cold mix, I know we just went over that, but, it kind of gives you the idea how we got to use it, and where we came up with that, idea of that process and why it came into play. So we've used it here for a number of years.
I think everybody's good on that, Calvin. I don't mean to.
Yeah, I think-
We heard from the professionals, that's all we're obligated.
Yeah, I think the learning is
Right.
things like that is to get out in front of it communication wise.
Where we had done it on a smaller scale, this is, you learn more from your mistakes in life, you have all your successes. Well, this is an example of where, hey, I didn't anticipate this. On the smaller scale, we didn't have any problems, and looking at all the other towns are doing, Augusta's doing it,
Yep.
Turner at North Yarmouth, it's going on all around, and then I just didn't foresee that. So in hindsight, I probably, and from now on, and in fact, I talked to all states and asked them, don't you have any brochures of literature? And they don't have any, but I know I talked to C.H. Stevenson, who's done this for years, used to be the biggest in the state, they had literature that they would send out to people and tell them how to turn the wheels on and what not to do and how to treat it for the first, so people knew what was going to happen. And so I think I'll create one next time. So I will make that and put that in everybody's mailbox. And if I thought that was hot mix, I would be as alarmed as, I'd be like, well, Jesus, we got screwed, we got ripped off. It's my fault that people weren't,
Lesson learned.
Yeah, it's just a learning, and we do try to.
This,
better ourselves, so.
24th and 25th, can we put that out there so that people realize that that's when that's gonna happen? Is that something we put on the town channel
Well-
without a big explanation, or?
well, the problem with
Things
that,
down.
the problem with that is that's, once you put that in, that's gospel, and it could rain, we could get delays.
Yeah.
And the minute it doesn't happen on the 24th and 25th, and they made plans that was gonna happen.
Well, maybe it's too early for that, maybe it's when it gets
We
within,
get within a week.
that's kinda what I was thinking, yeah.
Or you initially you put it out there as tentatively scheduled, and you put the big qualifiers on it, like, subject to
Pending
weather,
weather.
we'll give you a more definite date as we get closer, just.
So we're gonna
Because
put that out-
the only thing that, I'd like to do that if we can, because I remember when they did it RO, like he said, you got that loose rock that happens for 2 or 3 days, and people were, what the heck is this? I said,
What is this?
Pretty sure this is chip seal, and it's gonna be fine in 3 or 4 days, and I didn't know for sure, but I thought it was swept, and it was, so.
I was out there sweeping it on a Sunday when I saw it.
Yeah, it was a Sunday that you swept it, yes, because of the calls, so.
So you want us to put that on the website, on the town website?
Yeah,
I think
I would
so.
envision, it'll take a while to get into the cadence, but personally, I would envision like some sort of like regular page or blog or whatever where a lot of similar things like you're putting in your report, like, this is what we've been doing and this is why, and we've gotten some questions about this and this is why we did it that way, and this is what you can expect over the next few weeks, just
Yep.
so
Be
people
proactive.
are, yeah,
It can
exactly.
be a blog.
Well-
He can do a blog on the Public Works Department page.
Hopefully I'll have more time to be doing that, coming right up here, so,
And we'll see how it goes, if it spawns more questions.
yeah.
I'm
something-
taking it down.
That's true, I mean, yeah.
I don't need any more questions.
So,
It's always best to have people informed.
so the-
Yeah, I got Rob's number on my speed dial.
That's what I do.
Apparently.
So you guys saw the invoice, or have you done accounts payable?
Which invoice are you referring to?
For the big stump?
The big stumps had those, it's $500 to have those big oak stumps ground up on, so it was either that or we pull them out, and if we pulled them out, we'd have lost half the road with it, so,
You just call a contractor for that, or?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the guy with a big grinding machine came out and ground them in place for $500. So, those are gone,
Better than ripping up the road.
the road, yeah.
They were big.
And, so we're back to Runaround Pond Road, been there about a week. We should be done with that in a couple of weeks, so we can get that final layer of pavement on. So engineers completed the design of the open bottom stream crossings on Auburn Pownell Road. Looking to put this out to bid next week, so this work has to be done between September 15th and November 15th is the window for the environmental permitting purposes.
So October is wrong?
Well, no, we want to get the work started between September and October 15th, because it's going to take them 3 weeks to do it. So if they have to start between, that's the anticipated starting time.
Okay.
It has to be done by November 15th. It's gonna take them about 3 weeks. So, need to discuss the detour plan. Right now, I'm looking at, and I'm looking for suggestions. I'm gonna have to collaborate with the fire chief, school bus, Bowmar Transportation, school department.
Omar's actually out,
Out.
right?
Yeah, they changed the bus, they changed the
The
bus.
school will tell you,
or
the
something.
transportation
So,
director, but
I'll
I think
tell
it's
them.
all in the RSU now.
Oh, you think so?
Ooh,
That was Bomar's thing, not ours.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. So I have to just make sure the school buses are aware, road's gonna be closed, fire department, police.
Do we have to, when you say the road's closed, I mean, I don't know this area that well, per se. You're not impacting people's driveways or anything like that, they
No,
can't.
that's between Heel Drive, right there at the power line.
Yeah.
There's no house in between.
So everybody's getting to their house, Kelvin, okay.
So the people that live on this side are gonna have to go back to North Pownell and run around Pond Road. People on the other side are gonna have to go down Stackpole across Bowie Hill. Now, that leads to another question. We all know the condition of Bowie Hill. So, talk
Good
about,
idea, they're not gonna use
Well,
Bowie
just-
Hill, they'll probably
just
go
keep-
over to Lawrence Road in Pownell and come back around Gloucester Road.
so.
That's all you got.
Well,
I
what
think if it's a detour for people coming from Auburn in, I think it's just the detour right down the
How
Stackpole
long-
Road.
How long you want to shut the road down?
3 weeks.
For 3 weeks?
That's a long time.
And what are they doing for a
They're
culvert?
guessing 2 weeks,
What are they doing for a culvert?
they're doing an arch culvert.
A multi-plate?
Yeah, they're gonna put the foundation in, the footings.
Give them 1 week.
I mean, my guess is they probably do it in 2 weeks, but I don't think it'll be closed for
It's
3
two,
weeks.
right? It's both
Four.
crossings?
Well,
Two
there's
different
two
crossings.
pipes in each,
Yeah,
pipes in each
but
crossing.
it'll be the same
There'll
shut
be
down.
one, yeah.
And there's no houses in between
Right.
there.
Right.
No.
And if we put this out,
Oh, wait a minute, there is.
I don't think so.
Yes, there is. There's a road there's a house in between.
There is?
Sure?
Yeah, of course there is.
That was my concern.
Well, I was gonna pull up, you got Google Earth on there?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got it up
there
right
is.
now.
It's
There's
newer. It's
On
in
the
between.
right-hand side?
There's one
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Aside from your
Yeah,
house.
there is one house on the other side of the
We're gonna
road.
have to do one at a time.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave one of them.
There is a fresh drive. I didn't realize there was something actually
One
built
of them
up
has to
there.
have at least one lane open.
You're right.
that's
Yeah.
right.
That's just recently happened.
Well, you can do
Well-
one,
No,
and they
probably.
can come the other way. when
Well,
you
the
do
thought was the cost. The cost is
There's a
gonna be a
pinpoint
lot
potential when I
cheaper.
drive down there.
We're gonna get a lot better pricing.
Well,
Yeah, but we can't shut somebody out of their house.
No, but we won't be able to. We'd have to come up with
No,
something.
don't do that.
There is a house in between those two?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
There's
just
one.
gonna go check that out.
Goes
You found
right-
it?
Send them on a Disney cruise for a couple
Yeah.
of weeks, so
'Cause the
they,
power lines are right there, right? There's
Yeah.
this little,
Yeah.
there's a house right in between those two and right on the power lines, yeah.
Between two crossings, yeah, okay, all right. Well, we'll deal with that, so, but there's still gonna be a detour.
They can stay with Calvin for the 2 weeks.
we got an apartment up over the town garage.
Yeah, there
You
is.
send them down to Crowley's to the yard.
Yeah, that's
You know, I
right.
think you leave that up to the contractor, though,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
So-
they gotta maintain access to the house.
To the house, right.
However they wanna do it.
Okay, so, or it might be cheapest for us to pay for them a vacation for now. Maybe the contractor will pay for them to go on a vacation.
Maybe.
So,
There's a-
So I gotta look at that closer. I forgot about that. I remember seeing something, but I forgot what that was. You're right, though.
so I'm requiring the contractor to put up digital signs week before to, that's what we did in Pownell on the bridge, that the contractor put up the digital signs week before saying the road will be closed on these dates, and it flashes 24/7. So everybody knows well ahead of time. So the detour, we need to, my thought is, if I send them down Bowie Hill Road, that's, I don't know, but we'd be getting into, alternative is we send them all the way back to 136.
Well, that's what I was, if they're coming down from that side anyways,
If they were headed to the get and go,
well, they gotta go down 136 anyways,
They're gonna go
either
down
way,
136.
so.
They come all the way down Stackpole to 137.
Yeah, that's what, I would say, I wouldn't send them down to Bowie
stay
Hill.
right on.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
And the few that steer off and go up Bowie Hill Road.
They already know where they're going, so that's why they do that, right?
So if they choose to take Bowie Hill Road, that's
Right,
it.
that's what
We're
I
not
do.
steering them down there. So.
I think that's a good call.
I think so, yeah.
Just tell them it's closed and, yeah.
If I was going to Pownell from my house, I'd go down Gloucester Hill Road. Take
Right.
left and go back down, it's
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Detour.
Road.
Lawrence Road, yeah.
No,
Even if
That way
it's
they
dirt,
I live on the
They can stay with you.
in that.
I'm not going down Boyd Road.
What else you got, Calvin?
We got the Durham, welcome to Durham sign is done. Gonna pick it up tomorrow. There again, the placing of that down there is gonna be a little bit tricky, because if I can't back it up to that rock, because the ice is this thick in the wintertime.
Yep.
Or this thick in the wintertime, so I have to keep it up toward the curb. And so, you got the stop sign, I'll fit it in.
Not that much space there.
No, and I gotta fit that in there, because there's a drain in behind it, so I'll fit it in there, but the alternative is to put one coming up the hill. In hindsight, 2020, but had I known, maybe back before we put the new bridge on, I could have asked them to blast a shelf back on that ledge, and we could have sat it up there. So, we could, I mean, the only alternative would be put one on the hill going up into Durham on the right, but then what do you do? You'd have to do one on each
I
hill.
think where you're headed is fine, it just, we'll make
Is there a
it.
way to? No, never mind. I forget what I was gonna say.
We'll fit it in there. If we don't like it, we can always move it, so. Yeah. So,
Give it a winter.
yeah. So
You attach it right to the ledge. Oh, because the ice.
that ice, otherwise it would be a perfect spot.
My first thought was have what's her name come over and paint it on there, but that ice will wreck that the first year, you know?
Yeah. So Ron's left for vacation today, went to Netherlands for a couple of weeks.
Oh,
No, he's gone to,
Jeez,
I think he went to Curacao.
You went to where?
I think he went to Curacao.
which is
Owned
owned
by the Netherlands.
Owned by the
I don't know, I heard Netherlands, that's all I thought.
I'm like, no, he's gone someplace warm. It's next to Aruba.
Yeah, he always goes to someplace very hot in the summer. He likes
It's
to
very
see-
nice. I've been there.
What's that heat, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty,
So,
it's a pretty place.
Very pretty.
so other than that, we're on schedule, and we'll keep,
I do have a question for you, Calvin, just about this spreadsheet that you gave us with this, looking at the savings versus the cold mix and chip seal versus reclaim binder surface. So it shows like just on Cedar Pond Road, almost $200,000, $194,000 in savings of one construction method versus another. And I'm assuming your unit prices are pretty accurate from the pricing we've had recently, right?
yeah, I'm using based on the numbers I had
So-
last year.
One thing to point out though is that cold mix and chip seal, we're not talking about a 20-year lifespan.
Correct.
You're talking a 10-year lifespan. Realistic. I mean, yeah, I know we're gonna stretch it to
But in-
20, but
But in 10 years, if we,
I've actually got his
the
contract.
other thing is, if we reclaim that road today,
Yeah.
we'd still have to resurface it in 10 years.
Yeah, but if we're gonna have to reclaim Cedar Pond Road in 10 years.
I'm saying if we reclaim Cedar Pond Road right now, we'd still have to resurface it in 10 years.
Yep.
So
But since we did this, we're gonna have to reclaim Cedar Pond Road in 10 years.
not necessarily.
You may just have to service
We
it.
have to just go over it again. I mean, if we keep the profile and keep the water out of the road, they can last for, I
Okay.
mean,
My point is though, is that it's not a realistic comparison because it's two totally different construction methods.
but I'm just showing you what the cost would have been.
Yeah, and we've got, 2 miles of good road, but, just doing quick numbers, if you say you get a 10-year lifespan out of a pave and chip seal, it's
He will.
$14,000 for each one, or $14,000, $676 a year. A reclaim, you get 20-year lifespan, yeah, you might have to surface it, if you add that in, it's still $17,000 over a 20-year life. So it is still a savings, and it looks like that product is gonna be good, but really, we shouldn't even look at this comparison.
Okay. Well,
Two different construction
I'm
projects.
just saying, if we had gone the other route, I'm
Yeah.
saying, how do we get from point A to point B? We
No,
gotta
and-
get from here to
And I
there.
appreciate what you and Jerry are doing, and I think there's multiple tools in our toolbox, and I'm glad you're using all of them to try to stretch our dollar as far as you can. No doubt about that. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
Anything else?
yeah, that's,
No? Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Ruth, you're the last item on our agenda this evening.
I just have a small,
No, you can't go to Hawaii next week.
sure,
Or go track down our other road.
How about
guy,
Curacao?
No, I knew that was coming.
With us, huh?
You know, if I was thinking, I would have had you like bring back a Hawaii license plate.
I have one in my
Some-
cellar.
Oh, see, because the kids over in like that are going into 5th grade have this thing over the summer. Like you gotta find the license plates from all 50 states, and Hawaii is always a big challenge.
I might actually have one myself. I'll look.
It is a tough one. Especially now that, when the base was here, Hawaii and Alaska wasn't too bad. Now that it's gone, it's a tough one.
Who takes a ferry from Hawaii?
Yeah, right.
The government's paying for it.
So, okay, so sorry, I interrupted you.
So anyways, I had a conversation with Paula Erdman Purdy. She is one of the co-chairs of the Historical Society now. They have co-chairs, her and Linda Litchfield have taken over. And they would like to be a part of the walkthrough of those buildings that we had talked about, the Methodist Church and the Old Town Hall. And so they have a meeting at 6:30 on the 15th of August. And I was wondering if you guys would be available, maybe, I don't know if 5:30 is really early for you guys, but if we could meet like at the Methodist Church, look at the Methodist Church and then go take a look at the Old Town Hall, and then they can have their meeting.
Which one's haunted?
And then,
Methodist
The
Church.
Methodist.
so,
We can only do
have
that
the
at night.
NIMS
Ed Lamb's home.
our the NIMS
Oh, that's the
training
NIMS training,
is at
okay.
6:30.
Okay, then we'll do it a
Probably
different
do
night.
it.
No, we can do it a different night if you
I'd
want.
like to do that in this one.
Well, yeah, the NIMS is really worthwhile. It's a terrific class, and Joanna's terrific. So, okay, so let's pick a different night.
Is that the one you and I went to over at the fire station, that training?
No, I went to it over at the,
Auburn.
Auburn, yeah.
Yeah, right underneath the fire station, or down back, or whatever.
Yeah, that was emergency preparedness and monetary estimation of hazard things, like when we got like a hurricane and stuff like that, how to go around and determine what.
When is the
Take care of
NIMS
it.
training?
The NIMS training is August 15th. It's going to be at the fire station. If you haven't done it before, it's absolutely worthwhile.
It is, I agree.
You're invited, yes.
We have to make reservations.
You might want to ask Chief, but yeah, I think you'd be invited. Okay, so let's pick a different night. Anybody have any suggestions?
What night was the 15th? Was that
The 15th was, you know what, I don't even really know.
Tuesday.
April 2nd.
That's a Tuesday. It's an
Tuesday.
off, it's an off
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay. Does it have to be on, does it have to be on?
Start billing for these off Tuesdays. There's a lot of off Tuesdays in this.
I think the more thing is that there are no off Tuesdays.
That hasn't been for you guys.
Guys are like, it's every other week. I'm like,
It
oh,
goes through
sweet.
spells, wait till budget season.
Yeah.
There's no off
Some
Tuesdays,
of that's us,
Mondays,
though. We
Wednesdays.
control our destiny there.
No, he's very correct, I think. So, all right. There's nothing urgent about these walkthroughs, right?
No.
So I would like to. I would say I would like. Let's wait till summer's over
Okay.
and do it like in September or something like that. Or,
We don't have any roofs leaking, right?
No, they did take a look at the Methodist Church, and it seems that the roof's holding up okay. The foundation needs some serious work, and the front steps are needing repair. The Old Town Hall seems to be okay. They're in the process of going through all of the paperwork and stuff that they have in there, and
Yeah, I saw them down there yesterday.
yeah, they've been working really hard at it.
Yeah.
But before budget season, certainly we should get into these buildings and take a look at them and see.
That has a recent roof.
I
It-
think so, yeah.
It does have
Yes,
issues.
Yeah, I think so.
Does have issues, is not the.
The Methodist Church has issues.
Methodist, sure.
How long do you think it will take to walk through both?
I don't know.
Well, walk through both. Because I guess I'm wondering if you guys.
Half an hour or so each, probably.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
wondering,
I was
would you
thinking.
rather try to do it on an off Tuesday? Would you rather do it early before the meeting on a regular meeting day?
I'd rather do it early before regular meeting day. That's just my
How
opinion.
about the 22nd?
Yeah.
The week after you were talking about.
Instead of making two meetings.
Which that's in August.
But we might want to do it before 5. If you're looking at roughly a half hour in between, then you got to drive, so you're looking at probably closer to 5.
Probably
to
want to
get
start
in.
at 5, yeah.
To get in by 6:30, just on the safe side at least.
Push it out to
I mean, that's doable for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
wanna
I don't
speak
mind
for
doing it
everybody
before
else.
yet. I
I
don't
mean,
mind
if we're a
doing
little
that.
late.
Huh?
You want
If
to
we're a little
you want us to
late,
push it out
people
to
are gonna be
September
waiting
5th?
for us.
Right,
You
yeah.
can't get a forum without us here anyways.
Yeah,
Come
they're
on.
not going anywhere without us.
Rob's thinking the 5th.
September 5th at 5 o'clock.
How much?
September 5th at 5.
September
day of
5th. What night is that?
That's the first day of
that's-
school.
That's a tough day, man.
Okay, never mind. Keep it
I
back
mean,
in
just for the
August,
guy
or
with the kids. man,
Yeah.
that's
go
a
the
tough day.
19th, or keep it in August.
Keep it in August, just, what was the 22nd, you said?
August 22nd is Tuesday.
That's a regular
Regular
meeting.
meeting.
It is a meeting night.
Well, we can try to do that, just
Try to do it at 5 o'clock
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah,
And you just get to the Methodist church as soon as you can, and
yeah.
we might not wait for you, but,
Might not make it till you get to the next one, you know.
Right, yeah.
We might need somebody to show up late to like rescue people for the when the ghosts close the doors.
Well,
oh,
that's,
let me tell you, that could
that's
be,
the only good thing about doing it in the wintertime is they don't move around as
a good
much.
time.
It's
Yes, absolutely.
like a half mile from my house.
Yeah, that one's supposed to be really
We could
scary.
invite Janet down to go through that.
Oh,
one.
she won't go into
No,
that
she
building.
won't. Oh, really? No.
Oh, no.
She had that one experience. You won't get her.
She was in on that?
Yeah.
I'll get Sean over to do it.
You'd be lucky if she'd even drive by it.
Funny about this stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Why not? That's
Um,
good. I like how you
and-
think.
And then I just wanted, because the chief's not here tonight, he just wanted me to mention his email about vacation, and he just wanted to make sure you guys were okay with
I
that.
didn't get an email about vacation,
Yeah.
did
See you later. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you were on it.
I? Oh, okay, well, das Bedanya to the chief.
Okay. I will let him know that you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, so you sent us this email today, and then nobody brought it up through the whole meeting. I mean, are we
Oh,
gonna
sorry.
talk
I can talk about it if you-
marijuana, or
I thought that was gonna be
how do you
part of your,
pronounce that?
Sorry, we can go on to that.
I don't even. how you
So
pronounce
I did
it.
send out an email to you guys just to give you a heads up that there have been some inquiries into the ordinances that Durham has for marijuana, because it looks like the schedule is that in the spring of next year, they'll start handing out licenses. And so I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and I also sent it to Ann and Mindy, who are the chair and vice chair of the planning board, because we might want to start thinking about if you guys want to,
Talked about that in January.
I know we've been talking about this a little while.
And gonna request a permit application for two, I think 25-foot wide by 150-foot long buildings
Yeah.
for a dispensary for.
You have a permit request, actually.
Application. I
Wow.
haven't dealt with it yet, because I don't know what to do with it yet. I have to figure out if that's a conditional use. I gotta think about.
Is
Well,
that,
Of course, it's conditional use.
is that,
I don't, that's kind of.
is that medical now?
He says, well, it's agricultural, he's.
Is it medical?
He says it's a non-profit. I don't know anything about it.
Giving it all away.
All I know is, all I know
Right.
is it's over-
25 by 150
Because
foot
there's a
building,
difference
right.
between medical marijuana and,
I think he might have said, maybe he said medical marijuana. It's over.
because that's legal and
Over
there's,
off the Shire Road.
okay.
So, I know if I was gonna have one of them next to my house, I would wanna know what was there. Just because somebody comes in there with, somebody. comes
Well, you
in-
can smell that quite a while. The smell does
Smell
bother some
alone would
people.
be enough to make you wanna move.
Do
So are
those
there-
types of ordinances typically, like on something like that, which, would that typically come from the planning board?
It has to come to planning board.
Well, what's our, I guess what's our
Unless
policy
you-
on marijuana?
Well, you have
First,
to.
That's, we don't have
Well, if we
one.
have one. Well, that's what I mean, don't we have to
Right.
establish if we have one before it goes to
Doesn't
the
the
planning?
state provide?
No, I mean
aren't
for
there
them
some
to
state
bring the
guidelines
proposed
with this
ordinance.
law?
There will be state guidelines, we're not
Maybe
sure what
there
they
will
are
be.
yet.
So what you have is
What's
you
our
have two,
ordinance
you have
on
two
growing?
issues. You have a use, you have a structure, and you have a use. For him to get a permit for the structure, nothing I can do about that. As far as him being able to sell or do the marijuana
Right.
operation there, that's a use, and that would go to,
To the planning board.
I would think, but I don't see anything in our land use. I'd have to read that again and see it
Yeah, it's
in the
gotta be a
table.
conditional
In the
use.
table, if I get down through, I don't see marijuana use. I see agricultural.
Well, if the state hasn't passed the laws and there's no guidelines yet, how can we even improve the use?
Well,
Even
I
if
don't
we,
think
even
you-
if we had an ordinance.
Well, it
in place.
depends on if it's medical or not.
I don't think you can stop them.
Ruth, what is, I mean, there must be something on the MMA. I mean, I know like some towns, like Brunswick, for example, you're very limited on what you can do with marijuana, and then like a town like Manchester, you can do quite a bit of things. I mean, it just really, there's such a.
Well, when this came out, a lot of towns put a moratorium on.
Right.
I was gonna ask that, do we need to go to a town meeting for a moratorium, or does the selectmen
No,
have
that
the
has to go
power
to
to do a
town meeting.
moratorium?
Yeah, we were hoping to
We
get
just
it
had.
in April, but it didn't happen. And then,
Done it last week.
yeah, well, and there's things to consider, is the town going to allow grow facilities? Is the town going to allow dispensary, retail, social clubs?
Yes,
Um,
yes.
Well, the medical marijuana is a whole different ballgame, so we're gonna have to look at the laws for medical marijuana. But I'm talking the legalization of marijuana in the state of Maine. So, there's different businesses that are gonna grow out of this.
Whether it's edibles.
It feels like something that, that we somehow want to get some public input on, like
Yeah.
what do people want? I mean, you might have some people that think, hey, this is a pretty good, like, clean industry that could provide tax revenue to the town, and others would probably say, I don't want that anywhere near this town.
I don't want that near my kids or my, I don't want that.
Yeah, so, I mean,
some people might just want
May have to be 200 feet from here, or 200 feet, or 300, whatever it is.
That will somewhat be included in the state laws. I think, there's gonna be buffer areas around schools, and hopefully municipal buildings, no. But, but I don't know exactly what the law is gonna state, and
Buildings, 150 feet long, do you know what marijuana that is? I mean, you'd be able to smell that all the way down to
Oh, yeah.
the public works garage.
My wife and I was driving down somewhere the other day.
that will lead to
Making
a
stuff.
whole different set of problems, like,
I mean, if I had to smell it every day, I wouldn't be very happy.
well, that is one of the big issues with growing marijuana, is there's quite an odor, and the odor
It smells-
carries
it smells
for
like skunk.
long periods of time, or long periods of distance, and,
I have Sherman houses in town, I drive by now and I can smell it every day.
We can pass it
Oh,
on.
yeah, I have.
I was at a Tom Petty concert the other night. I could smell it.
They could have to put odor
It was probably
control.
burnt, though.
Yeah, it was burnt.
well, and you can put different things in the ordinance. You can allow grows, and not allow social clubs. So you can
That's what I was,
pick and
We
choose.
allow controlled grows, like maybe they're allowed to do up to X amount of plants.
I believe
or
so.
Okay.
I believe
I
so.
think we just need to do a
Can
lot more
Can
research. is there any, I think to Rich's point, is there any guidance available from MMA about what towns, like,
I
can
have
and
tons
can't
of
do?
I have tons of examples.
Can you email it to us? So we can
Absolutely.
Look at it
Or maybe,
outside of
maybe
here?
take like the cliff notes and maybe give us a quick.
I'll try and do the
synopsis.
Cliff Notes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That'd be nice too.
Yeah, 'cause
So,
I don't
but
really
if I'm-
want tons of email.
There's nothing, without a town meeting, there's nothing we can do.
No.
That's out of our.
Right.
Well, that's good.
Can't put
So,
a
I mean, but
moratorium
if
and
you
none of that.
felt, if you guys felt that it was an important, I mean, you could do a public meeting or a public input session and ask people for their opinions.
I do think that would be warranted.
And then if
Oh,
you,
God, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
if you felt that there was a necessity, you could call a special town meeting to pass an ordinance. I mean, it doesn't have to wait
But-
till April.
No, but I think we want to, yeah,
I don't
and I
think
think
we
we want to
should.
go into that meeting with some solid background knowledge about what the options are and
So maybe a couple months
what other
or so,
towns
yeah.
are doing, and so.
if the legislature had done more work in the past session, you would have thought they'd be further ahead than they are now about this.
I haven't heard much for a couple months, so I don't know exactly
Exactly.
where
Exactly.
they are. You don't think that they've done much?
I don't.
And the
think
federal
they've done
government
enough.
still says it's illegal.
Well, that's what I wonder about. It's like, we go and allow, 150-foot long grow buildings, and it's still federally illegal. I mean, how do you do that?
Well, it's like,
I don't-
Ruth and I was talking earlier, it's like I said, it depends if Jeff Sessions right now, it depends if he wants to enforce it or not. That's, right now, it's illegal. If he chooses not to enforce it, it's still illegal, but you might not get in trouble. So they gotta, somewhere along the
Yeah,
line, they
and
gotta
there's,
fix that
there's so
too.
many issues included because, it's a cash business, because it is federally illegal, so
You can't get a bank.
you can't get a bank. They're starting to get some banks to help them, but mostly it's a cash business. So you're talking a lot of cash, you're talking certain things about, crime, and then if you, well, hopefully not the mafia in Durham, but you never know. And then you're talking about law enforcement, what kind of resources is law enforcement going to have to put towards this? If we have a social club in town, what are the ramifications of that?
We don't have our own police station, but it could make our county taxes go up if we gotta
Sure.
have them a lot more, so it's a lot of,
We put an impact fee on it or something.
yeah.
I know what we did in Dixie with the wind, commercial wind, they came in and filled whole mountains, and they had a town meeting, and they put a moratorium in place. Moratorium says that it's on hold for 6 months while the town works on an ordinance.
And we can't put any impact fee, a development impact fee out there until we have an approved comprehensive plan.
But we did put some considerable impact fees on that the wind developers had to pay, but you could, and then you can get another 6-month extension, up to 3 of them, up to 18 months total if you are working on it, but you haven't completed the ordinance yet, so you have to go back and get it extended. A moratorium would give you time to come up with.
what you
Yeah,
want to do.
which we can't do without a town meeting, but I like the idea of let's gather a little information, schedule some sort of a public hearing, public discussion, and just to gauge how the town is feeling about it. I don't know, maybe we even do put a Survey Monkey internet survey or something from the website or something.
I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
They're so cheap and easy to do.
Yeah, you know, at least it's just, you know, it's not a deciding factor, but it's, you know, it's
It's a straw
another
poll.
data
Get-
point,
It's a
right? You
straw
know?
poll, essentially.
Get people's ideas.
And,
All right.
and then
Monkey
schedule-
awake?
Yeah.
Okay, because I ain't never did a survey monkey.
and then schedule maybe something this fall, like September, October, and see what people are thinking, what they want out of this. But
I don't think that they do think until one pops up next door, then all of a sudden. once
Then
the
it's
first
too
one-
late.
Once
Yeah,
the
too late
first one
then.
shows up, all of a sudden.
Yeah.
it'll be-
I
Well,
have
the problem is we
had
probably
questions.
have some in the town already.
Yes.
I'm sure you-
Oh,
You know what I mean? So, I mean, we just needed to establish
It's all-
which direction we want to go.
pretty much every state's largest cash crop already, you know?
It's the town's cash crop.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
we should.
Maybe we should put a,
Grow it
too
ourselves.
bad we can't tax it, local tax.
Well, see,
That's my only issue.
Well, why can't we?
I don't think we're allowed to have a
I don't think you
local
can
option tax.
local tax it, but if
No
you have them
local.
in your, they get more revenues
Is
from
that for you?
the
State,
business
yeah,
or.
Maine doesn't have a
Shannon's
local
writing, I
option
think.
sales tax, I don't
No.
think.
the state's trying to say that they're not gonna send any
Right,
of the state tax back to the local
right.
to help us.
They're looking at 10%, they weren't gonna send it back, but that's still up for debate, though.
It'd be nice if they did allow the municipalities to tax.
I know with Poland Spring, it was, I wrote an ordinance up
That's-
the again, we get 2 cents a gallon, there was a number
Sign these
towns
warrants.
that get. as
It's just-
their-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be, kinda like the casinos,
10
the
days.
state gets so much money.
This is the.
Okay, that is, Ruth,
accounts
anything
payable.
else from?
Oh, sorry, no, I think I think I'm good, unless you wanted to add an executive session to go over the other issue.
I think,
You wanna wait and maybe do it next time when you have
Yeah.
a better handle on what's going on?
yeah, because I just saw it today.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, so, I want to talk to the guy
he's very helpful.
and get the scoop, so. Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
all in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you, Alden.
Rob,
Thanks, Alden.
motion and I seconded.
Thanks, Mark.
So that's, our accounts payable, and
Thank you.
usually you get it right before the meeting to
About that?
take a look at it.
That's it.
We don't, because we usually run it on Tuesday. I like to wait until the
We're
last
all-
second so that we can pay as
Thank
many
you.
people as possible.
What's this?
We were able, I would like to
So,
point out that we were able to pay the school in this one.
I don't know what I can, with the board and others, and what I can say or not say about that.
Well, in executive, well,
We can go into executive, I got.
Can share something.
all we can say really without the executive session, and I'm not sure we're even supposed to do this, is we have a Maine Human Rights Commission, a suit against the town that we've been working on for about 6 months now, maybe no, more like 3/4 of a year. And we just received back the response from the complainant. And so, it's gonna be another month to 4 months before, they have an investigator who's gonna send us questions and ask us. And basically, the executive session will be just for, me and Kevin and Mark, because Mark really knows a lot about it too, because he was here during it, to go over what exactly it is. There's not gonna be a lot of questions for you guys to answer because you weren't here, but,
But let me ask you this, is our attorney, I'm assuming our attorney's involved, right?
yes,
As
well,
he
not
tried
our
to-
attorney.
What, or, wait,
Okay.
who's representing us?
So this is a claim that is covered by MMA.
Should I just move us into executive session?
Yeah, we might
I'm gonna move us
Yeah,
into
if we're gonna go any
executive
further, we
session
need to-
Sorry.
at 7:51.
Wait a minute, gotta get the books out again.
Since I got an empty house.
This is off, right?
they went.
It has.
Oh, they were at the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't, but
Oh, I hope it's off. Calvin, you need to make, I mean,
I
Calvin.
wasn't home between work and this.
Hold it.
Hold
Hold
it, it's off, it's off.
Okay, you need to make
Okay.
sure that that's not on the tape.
What is the site for the executive session?
Oh, this is going to be, oh.
Hold on.
Cards were right at the end when he was not ready to come back. I was giving him everything. I haven't heard anything. He's supposed to be pretty good. He's been to visit, so he should be coming back. That's what he heard. I don't know. I mean, that's all I can really do.
All right. Be the IT person here.
All right, Truffles, just a minute.
Okay.
You gotta get dressed.
Oh, they got these frickin' baby things in here, or some damn thing. What the hell they put that in there?
You wanna drink of water?
We got the babies.
Come on. Come on, let's go this way for a drink of water.
I'm gonna unplug this until.
That is only bad on Route 1. When I don't take Route 1, I get a whole.
Where a lady just passed away, Roseboro Road, 136, heading that way, towards Freeport. There's a lady that she owns like 2 acres almost.
Yeah.
She just passed away. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I talked to somebody about it today. Her son.
Yeah, so that's the question. So I wonder where her next door neighbor. So we were wondering.
Who passed away?
I can't remember her name, Helen? Okay, we're at 457.
Oh. Oh.
All right, come on up.
Yeah. Anyway, she owns like 2 acres. And we're right next to her. So we have seen a for sale sign, but someone's keeping the,
Hey there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All right. You remember Mickey? You remember? And you remember Dan, he used to keep us warm.
yeah.
Got a lot of people coming tonight, you know?
I don't know, I don't think so.
Good, we don't want to be here all night. Not to be rude, but
Well, that's blunt.
Right to the point, huh?
we gotta go make something still.
Yeah.
Oh, just a minute.
So what I was thinking.
Is the service done?
He is now.
Nice.
These are part of that as like.
He has been for about a year. We had to go through Companion and it was a long journey, but.
But he made it.
Yeah, it was mostly me procrastinating.
I hear you. The older I get, the more I do that. Probably should turn my ringer off, huh?
Let's see, who are we gonna use for a pension? How's the summer treating you guys?
Maybe not the whole 100 acres, but maybe.
Going by too
part of it,
quickly.
you know, keep as,
Crazy.
you know, as subdivisions come to town, you know, like use this as an open space.
How about for you?
I gotta figure out.
It's going slow.
Slow.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.